these are areas that, when they're restored, bring huge economic growth to areas. I'm thrilled that through the infrastructure law, we saw over $1 billion in investment in these brownfields programs. When you look at Florida itself, in Florida's 9th Congressional District, we have 45 sites in Orange County, where Orlando is, one of the most urban areas of our district, 4 in Osceola and 31 in Polk County, a lot of old citrus sites and helping out with mining in that area. And then since 1997, we've seen in Florida over 235 contaminated sites cleaned up in Florida, almost 90,000 jobs. So we know that this can be helpful. So which is when I saw the 65% cut to EPA spending, I was deeply concerned about that. Now,
this is what we call the Oklahoma Standard. And the worst of times, neighbors helping neighbors, and we all come together and work hard. Our federal delegation is working close with our state. The governor and I are coordinating everything we can, making sure that we have the federal funds there. Of course, we also have the state and the local funds all coming together.
We just finished up the continuing resolution that is passed now through the Senate, and it has been voted on and approved. We're grateful for that, and grateful to be able to see the government to be able to stay open. It's been a frustration for me for a long time that we constantly deal with government shutdowns and all the drama of this.
That he's going to make sure he stands up for the American people, the American farmer, the American manufacturer, the hardworking men and women of this country. He's going to make sure that they're able to have access to markets around the world. And right now, it is not fair. He talks about free trade, but it's got to be fair trade. And our colleagues, our allies even, are not treating us very well.
All right, see the damage. So this week we spent $122.93. Still a lot, especially now that we're afraid that the tariffs that Trump is imposing are going to increase costs. Most people don't know, anywhere from 40 to 60% of our produce comes from out of the country, comes from Mexico and Canada. So imposing tariffs on those products are going to hurt working people's wallets.
The idea behind it, this is basically coming from grassroots organizations that say we've had too many opportunities where folks with ill intent have tried to buy up farmland in and around some of our national security areas. And what this legislation does, it restricts China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran and individuals associated with those countries from actually acquiring businesses or farmland close to these areas, such as an Air Force base, an Army base, and so forth.
Not even 1 week ago, thousands of Americans joined together in dozens of cities across the country at the Stand Up for Science rallies. It was amazing to see. And guess what? Less than a week later, the Trump White House withdrew their anti-science, anti-vaccine nominee for CDC director because they didn't have the votes to get him through the Senate. Public pressure works. Speaking out works.
1 second. Here we go. We are
Here
off.
we go.
There she goes. 4 astronauts or 3 astronauts and a cosmonaut on board. Stay with us for just 1 second, Congressman. We're going to watch this together. This is taking off from Cape Canaveral. You can see the beautiful Atlantic Ocean there in the background, off into space on a rescue mission for 2 stranded astronauts. Let's listen in.
Madam, I guarantee we are going to do a detailed, thoughtful review and focus our efforts on improving our service to our veterans.
But that's not a guarantee because you don't know what's going to happen, but you're already naming the number of employees you're going to reduce. We are going to watch what you're doing. And
Ahora, el senador de Arizona, Rubén Gallego, acaba de anunciar que estará votando en contra de la desastrosa propuesta de financiamiento del gobierno del presidente Donald Trump y Elon Musk, ya que la propuesta quitaría fondos para programas de veteranos, programas de educación, programas de preservación del medio ambiente, todo mientras tanto dándole más dinero a los ricos y poderosos, dándole...
They're the people who make sure that every child gets the services they need to succeed in school. And when their civil rights are violated, particularly our students with disabilities, they stand up for them and protect them. Our representative democracy was born in Virginia over 400 years ago, as was American slavery. Virginia has been on the right side of history and on the wrong side of history.
The House bill had prevented the government of the District of Columbia from spending their own money, their own taxpayer monies, on the priorities they wanted, and would have forced cuts to police services, to firefighters, to schools. The House provision didn't save one penny to the federal taxpayer, but it dictated how the people of the District of Columbia, through their elected representatives, should prioritize their funding. Look, this is not just about D.C. It's about our democracy and self-determination.
I just wanted to call and say congratulations. I understand you had your naturalization ceremony yesterday, and I just wanted to say congratulations.
And we're so glad to have you a citizen of the United States.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am really appreciate you. I'm very happy. Yesterday I got my I attended my ceremony oath and I got my citizen certificate.
Yes.
But we have the situation with the advocate who expressed concerns about the situation in Gaza, being detained, arrested by the U.S. government last week, was arrested because of his opinion differing with the president's. Don't you think that's very un-American?
Again, I know something about this. I'm not an expert, but the understanding of the I'll probably get into, I don't know all the legal ramifications for this individual who was in the United States, under what status and what rights he exactly has. So
He was here under a green card. Don't people on green card have freedom of expression in the United States of America?
again, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have the legal background on this. This is something that you really need to take
If the
up.
United States is detaining people because their views disagree with the president's, doesn't that set a very bad precedent for the world?
She's 10 years old and she's an American citizen. She has siblings that are American citizens. And they came because they were working in the agricultural fields. They were helping power the economy, the agriculture economy of this country, because the agriculture sector, like other sectors, can't find enough American workers to go out into those fields in 102 degrees in South Texas and pick those crops. That's why they were here. And this girl can only get treatment at that hospital. She's not getting the treatment that she needs in Mexico any longer. She's going to die because of what Donald Trump did.